Hey, Daily Dosers. My name's Austin Payne. I'm one of the pastors on the Vista campus. And to be completely honest, I think I need today's dose more than anybody else watching this, because there's a prayer that Paul says in Ephesians chapter 1 that is just convicting and challenging for me in this season where months into COVID, I think I want the battle. I think I want the mountain to climb. As an ambitious person, I want to go, God, give me a conversation to have. Give me something to tackle. Give me a challenge to rise to. And in Ephesians chapter 1, sandwiched between these two just powerhouse verses, Paul reminds the people of Ephesus that he says in verse 15 that he just says, I haven't stopped giving thanks for you, people of Ephesus, and I'm constant in prayer. And then if you skip down a couple verses, he uses this analogy of this power that God has. And he says that God is using the same power that he used to raise Jesus from the dead. And that's the power that I'm praying in. And sandwiched between those two verses is this verse in chapter 1. He says this, people of Ephesus, I keep asking that the God of our Lord Jesus Christ, the glorious Father, may give you the spirit of wisdom and of revelation so that you may know him better. And for me, when I think about Paul being constant in prayer and constantly giving thanks and praying in this power that God used to raise his son from the dead, I'm ready for something epic. I'm ready for something to tackle, to challenge, this mountain to climb. And I'm like, all right, Paul, what is it? What are you going to challenge the people of Ephesus with? And he says this, God, may you give your people, the people that are following you, may you give them the spirit of wisdom and of revelation simply so that they can know you more. And I think way too often I want to do things for God rather than just sit with him and get to know him more. And I think that makes sense to me in my day-to-day relationships, in my friendships, in my marriage even, of relationships aren't so that I can get something out of that person, or relationships aren't so I can accomplish something for that person. Right? That so many of my deepest relationships are built on the fact that I simply want to know them more and they want to know me more. And yet with God, I think more often than not, I say, God, okay, I want to know you so that fill in the blank. And I love Paul's prayer here. May you grant your people the spirit of wisdom and revelation simply so that they may know you. And I love that, man, before we prepare for any battle, before we go into war for God, we must be people that sit with God and go, God, would you grant me your spirit of wisdom and of revelation simply that I may know you? That may my time in your word not be so that I can just get something out of it and teach it to somebody else, or, prepare for a life group and share something. May my time in prayer not just be this list of things that I can ask for, but God, would you remind me of just the beautiful gift of grace that I can just know you, the God of the universe that always has been, that always will be. You invite me into your presence so that I may know you. God, today, would you grant me the spirit of wisdom and revelation simply so that I may know you? May that be enough for me today. Thanks, Daily Dosers. We'll see you tomorrow.